Okay, good morning or good afternoon whenever you're watching this. Today we're going to do a little bit of review for chapter 6 in addition to moving on to chapter 6.4. We've been talking about volume this whole time of three-dimensional figures. Remember, we talked about prisms, cylinders, and pyramids, and now we're going to talk about spheres. But let's do a quick review of volume. For prisms and cylinders, we are always going to use area of the base times height. That's the general formula. However, depending on the base, what is the base of the prism or cylinder is going to determine which formula you use for area of the base, of course. So you have to first ask yourself, what shape is the base? Is it a triangle? Is it a rectangle or a square? Or is it a circle? And so that's the first question you ask yourself. If it has a base, what is the shape of the base? The second question you want to ask is, what is the area of the base? And over here in red, I've highlighted the area formulas. If it's a circle, you use pi r squared. If it's a rectangle, you use length times width. And if it's a triangle, like that, you use 1/2 base times height. And what you do in, it's right there, front, in the front, oh, it's right there, okay. What you're gonna do is figure out the area of the base first, and then you're gonna multiply it by what I like to call big H. It's the height that makes the figure three-dimensional. So it's that third dimension. So if this is the base, the triangle, just that triangle alone is 2 dimensions, right? But this H is what makes it 3 dimensions. So I call that the big H. And that's the next thing we need to figure out is, what is the big H? What is the height of the three-dimensional figure? So once you figure out the area of the base, you multiply it by the big H, and you have volume for prisms and cylinders. Now it's a little bit different if you have a pyramid. Remember the difference between a prism and cylinder and a pyramid. You might have the same base, such as a square or rectangle or triangle or even a circle, right? And that would make it a cone. But what you're going to do here is you have a different formula because you don't have the same base as you have a top, or same top as you have a base. So what you're going to do is you have to do the same formula, but you're going to multiply it by 1/3 or divide it by 3. So your pyramid is, again, it's your formula for pyramids and cones in general is 1/3 area of the base times height. Again, you ask yourself, what is the area of the base? If it's a triangle, it's 1/2 base times height. If it's rectangular, it's length times width. And if it's circle, it's a cone, and it's pi r squared. So you can go back to this formula again for the base, but instead of just multiplying it by the height, you need to divide it by 3 and then multiply it by the height, and you will get the volume for a pyramid or a cone. Now today, we're going to talk about spheres. Maybe that should be the first question you ask yourself, because it doesn't really fall in line with the same formulas here. You don't have a base. So the first question you need to ask yourself is, do I even have a base? For example, is it a sphere? And if it's a sphere, it looks just like a ball, and it doesn't really have a